Hey everybody, this is a later start than I intended, but that is only because I've been picking up the pieces I took a day trip to San Diego Comic-Con for 2017 San Diego Comic-Con. That was the first time I had ever taken such short a trip in my life for Comic-Con. Hey everybody. And that was interesting. I was going to originally, as I said, I think it would tweet, my plan was to spend overnight there and go and just basically, vlog the crap out of everything, right? Hey Octavio, how you doing? But I didn't do that. And the reason I didn't was because when I got there, it was something that I did not, excuse me, put that on. It was something I didn't anticipate. It was humid. I mean, boy, you talk humid. It was 72 degrees, the temperature was listed. Hey Joseph, how are you? But even though it was 72 degrees, the humidity must have been somewhere in the 95% range. And Tanner asks, how incredible did Wonder Woman look in real life? I saw Gal Gadot last year. This year, the way the flights work, I didn't get in the time to see that panel. I covered, and I have a live stream up that's been seen 1,000 times now, over 1,000 times, of the Star Trek Discovery cast, of which I was right up front and center. But that said, Gal Gadot is one of the world's most beautiful women, period. Just absolutely period. Just stunningly stunning, beautiful. Just absolutely stunningly stunning, beautiful. So, but when I got in, what happened was that my first flight, and I videoed every part of this too. And hey, Rick Rice. Hey, Rick, how are you? Hey, everybody, how you doing? Octavio says that's nothing. Octavio says, are you saying that Gal Gadot is not one of the world's most beautiful women? Oh boy. Okay. But Steve Collins says he knew he was going to say that. Joseph Jones says that humidity shouldn't have affected you living in Georgia. Well, Joseph, I'm indoors a lot in Georgia, so that's completely different. It's one thing to be, I didn't grow up in Georgia. I didn't have a huge backpack on my back in Georgia. We're on 5 acres of air-conditioned home in Georgia, and I don't get out much except to go to one place, the gym. Well, 2 places, the gym and the grocery store, either with or for my mom, and that's it. So, right, but the humidity impacts, oh, you were talking about the humidity, Octavia. I said that's nothing. No, it was enough for me. And plus I'm wearing black suit with black shirt, black pants, my customary black, and I'm normally used to it, but this time I just wasn't. And Raider Kuko, how are you? Hey, how you doing? And Steve, welcome Steve, how are you? Welcome, how are you? But all that said, I'll say that it was a fantastic time, and now I'm ready to turn to the matter of the Raiders and the NFL. But I want to recap Comic-Con a little bit. Where's John Marks when you need him? Yeah, exactly. Rainforest all around, but also I'm never outside. That's the point that I'm trying to make is, in Georgia, I'm never outside. I'm outside so seldom that when I do go outside and it's that humid, it's like this. I feel like I'm swimming through the thickness of humidity, okay? Completely different situation when you got a backpack on and you are outdoors and you're walking around. I was there for not only one day, but for a few hours. when I got there, it was 1:30, okay? So by the time when I landed and got off the plane and everything, it was 12:30. When I got to the convention center, it was just around 1 o'clock. Star Trek Discovery was the panel that I was set to cover. I was scheduled to cover. And so that was the idea. And so you got it. Stay tuned to Training Camp. My thought was, you know what? I'll go there first. The press check-in for the 4 o'clock was at 3:15. Because of the crowd, you need to budget about 40 minutes to walk from the Manchester Hyatt, where I was dropped off, over to the Hyatt Bayfront. That's about a mile to begin with, but because the crowd is so thick and so slow, right? And before that, I had to get my press badge. So I went to C door, and the guy there said, you have to A door to get to the sales pavilion. Okay? So I get to the A door at San Diego Convention Center, and the guy at A door says, no, you have to go back to C door. So me being, me, I just thought, you know what? I just thought, I'm not going to deal with this, and I'm going to go to, I'm not going to deal with this, and I'm going to go back to C door only with a supervisor. So I got a supervisor, okay? I got a supervisor. I'll get to your question in a second, Steve, but I'm answering Octavio's question first. But so what happened was that I went back and I insisted on a supervisor, and they got me there. They got me there. So it was very frustrating, Steve. It was very frustrating, but I say this to anybody: when you're in doubt about what to do about something, don't be afraid to call the supervisor and ask for help. Do not be afraid to call the supervisor and ask for help. All right. So as far as that was concerned, I covered the Star Trek Discovery cast, my full coverage of that, full live stream, front, middle, right in the middle. It was right here at Zenny 62. And it's been seen now, I think, over 1,000 something times. I'm very proud of it because I was one of the first. It was first come, first serve, and I want to be first in line. So for all the problems I faced, for all the yada, yada, yada stuff, the objective that I set for myself to do was done. I did it. And so Steve Macy's right. That's why I supervise to take care of problems. Yeah. Star Trek Discovery is going to be a great CBS program. My only issue with Star Trek Discovery is that it's going to be on CBS All Access as opposed to just television. And they ought to me, when CBS does it, it's passive aggressive, okay? And Octavio points out that big companies are eliminating the customer support. Yeah, they are. Customer support's really taking a nosedive today. I mean, it really is. So, it really is. Now, as far as the rest of Comic-Con, someone asked me about Wonder Woman. Tanner asked me about Wonder Woman. I saw a lot of Wonder Women. Wonder Woman over here, there, back here, over there, up top, down below, all over the place. There were so many women dressed as Wonder Woman, it was not funny, okay? I mean, age groups. Girls too young to dress that way, women too old to dress that way, and they're right in the middle, okay? Right in the middle. I have seen the Justice League trailer. It's kick-ass. It really is kick-ass. I can't wait for the story. It looks like it's going to be incredible, okay? Ben Affleck told everybody that they were fools for thinking he was going to give up being Batman. There's your news. So Steve Macy said some women don't belong in those outfits. No, they don't. But, and the vast majority of Wonder Woman looked fantastic. I will say that. Thumbs up. Major league thumbs up fantastic. Yes, absolutely. And mannerable and ready to pose, and everybody was nice. That's, if you've never been to San Diego Comic-Con, and I highly recommend you go, it is an incredible place to be. This is my 8th year in a row. It is my 8th year in a row. So it's something else. They did look quite good. And Octavio says, no Cal Centers, no chat support, only email support. Hey, by the way, also, I don't know if you guys can help me. I don't think my viewers are getting notifications that I'm on live stream. So if you could help with that, that would be great. And because, just maybe with a tweet or a message or something, because it's, I used to get a good bump of people, and now I'm getting, it's only a handful, and that's because people are complaining they're not getting the notifications. And YouTube is doing something, I believe, to curtail the dissemination of this. So I've got to go on to social media and counter that. And so I'm just basically tweeting the heck out of this. It's a frustrating go, okay, to deal with, but there you are. And so yeah, Joseph doesn't get them. Barry Lee may not have gotten his, so I'm gonna put one to Barry Lee on Twitter, okay? Superman will Superman be back? You get yours all the time, okay, cool. Will Superman be back? As far as I know, he will be. Yes. And you got notified? Okay, great. But see, only a handful of you do. But the people that used to don't. And I get these emails on a consistent basis that people are not getting appropriately notified. I'm getting screenshots. And yeah, Superman is coming back. Absolutely coming back. And so they have tried to put the bell option for all notifications. Yeah, they're doing something where they're checking. They've changed something where they're making it harder for me, people like me, to notify my group. I have 35,000 subscribers, and yet YouTube has suddenly made it hard for me to communicate with my subscribers. Unless I go one by one and just message them, or something like that. It's really a bad state of affairs, okay? And why they're doing that, I have theories, but I don't know. Steve says, Tanner says he hasn't been getting them, but you got one today. For this broadcast, Tanner, Steve says maybe that they have them unsubsidized and then subscribe again, something. I don't know what the issue is. I just know that when I started doing this, I was getting a healthy chunk of traffic, and then it slowed down, and then it dropped. And when it drops, those drops are generally attributed to some sort of change in the code, something that YouTube has done, okay? So, Bill O'Reilly voice. Joseph says, I have the bell notifications, I still don't get every stream. Right. And you should get every stream. And that's my point. You should get every stream. And it's something where they're not, and maybe it's because I'm using YouTube, and Tanner said he didn't get one. Maybe it's because I'm using YouTube Live Mobile instead of mobile. No, but see, I've always used YouTube Live Mobile, okay? I always have. And I always have. And so it's this consistent effort to just sort of, block me from, communicating to people. So I have to spend time like I'm doing now and just tweet out stuff and tweet out stuff and tweet out stuff and tweet out stuff. Or put them on Facebook, and which has its own issues. Or Instagram. So, which is something else. So, and so we've got, let's see here. Excuse me for a second. We've got, I'm still putting I'm putting notifications up as I talk to you. And then I'm putting it through Facebook Messenger as well. So, new message. Because I'm trying to work my way around I call it the tyranny of the blocks. The tyranny of the blocks. Which is, and there. So, with a Comic-Con recap. All right. Now, we've got, what else do we have here? I'm too good with information? I might be. You know, there's something definitely going on there. There really is. As far as new Raider news, other than what should we tweet to help? Tweet hashtag NFL, hashtag Raiders, or hashtag Comic-Con. Any one of those. When you tweet the title. In other words, all you have to do is, there's a, right down here, it's something called share, and you click on share, and it gives you the Twitter icon, okay? Or Facebook. If you're on Facebook, Facebook is even better for engagement. Just post the link to this channel on your Facebook page, and use hashtag Livestream. That helps a great deal, okay? That helps a great deal. Facebook gives great engagement. It really does. It really does. So that really helps a lot. Octavio says, if not, you only get notifications of what YouTube might think you're interested in. Yeah, that's the problem, as opposed to allowing me to reach out to people who are subscribed to me. Again, 35,588. You know, it's wild. So it really is. So that's what Donis. Oh, hey Donis, how are you? What about Voltron? Oh, Voltron in terms of the Justice League, or you mean the cyber? Well, let me see. I don't remember. Let me do some quick shit. When you say Voltron, what do you mean? Because I'm thinking of, there's Voltron in terms of the Avengers, which, by the way, Marvel once again showed up at Comic-Con. There were some who had the idea after D3 that Marvel wasn't going to be there. No. Oh, Voltron new movie? I didn't see notification of that, but let me check, because, for example, there are some, I wrote Voltron Comic-Con. Was there many black press? There was San Diego Comic-Con 2016. That was last year. Voltron had a panel last year at Comic-Con, but not this year. As far as were there many black press at SDCC, San Diego Comic-Con? No. I am one. There's myself, there's Black Girl Nerds, and that's about it. And, you know, I reached out to Black Girl Nerds, but they don't reach out to me, so whatever. I'm through with all that stuff. It's like, hey, if a person doesn't reach back, fine. What do you do? What do you prefer, the weather in Oakland or the weather in Atlanta? I prefer the weather in Atlanta. The $6 billion man? Nope, $6 billion man is in development hell. That was supposed to be with Mark Wahlberg. That's in development hell. Octavio Arias says the subscriber needs change the option of the subscription to get all notifications, but that's the subscriber's prerogative. Yeah, see, that's what they've done. They've left it to the subscriber to get the notifications, whereas in the old days, if you subscribed, that was enough. You were just getting your notifications. But now they have basically used it as a way of cutting people off. And so Rick Rice says, I'm subscribed, I didn't get a notification. FYI, I just happened to open my YouTube app, see? Bison says, are you looking forward to Star Trek Discovery? Yes, I am. And Donis says, why? Why is $6 billion man in development hell? I don't have specific information, but I'll guess. There's not a demand for it. You know, there just isn't a demand to see a bionic $6 million man or $6 billion man. I mean, think of the number of iterations we've had of that storyline concept. We've had the $6 million man. We've had Bionic Woman, right? We had Bionic Boy for like a second, which thankfully was just a second. We had, wow, a Bionic Woman in a number of iterations tanked, which was too bad because as a fan of strong women, I thought that there was a great opportunity there, but it was lost. But Bionic Woman lasted for one season. We had Mark Close and Dennis Haysbert starring in Once and Again, which was actually a $6 billion man story that lasted for one season. Same concept, even had the same running, you know, fast and all that jazz, you know, right? That lasted one season. So you can go. I mean, how many iterations of the $6 Million Man concept of the cyborg concept do we need before we realize it just doesn't work as a story if you expect to gain viewers, let alone for a major motion picture? It just isn't there. So yeah, Bionic. I remember. Oh yeah, thank you, Bison, the Bionic dog. Yeah, Bionic Girl too. We had. Wow, we had. Rick says you need to change your subscription option to get all notifications. Says Octavio, right? Yeah. So Donuts, you see what I'm talking about? I'm speculating. It has a lot to do with the fact that the demand for that just isn't there. It just isn't, and people. I mean, the other reason I think it's just not there is it's very much a story of a loner. And loner stories tend to work when you're talking about fugitives. If someone's on the run, right? They're on the lam, okay? Once and Again had potential as a fugitive story, but they didn't play up the fugitive angle. Because the guy, played by Mark Close, the actor, could have taken off. That would have been a great story, right? A fugitive on the run who just happens to have cost the government $6 billion to rebuild, okay? That's a story. That's a story. You got a story there. But, all right. So, Bison Fly says, are you sensing comic book movie fatigue? Girls Trip beat out Spider-Man Homecoming this week. I don't think it's so much comic book fatigue as Spider-Man is a well-worn formula. But you have to remember something. Spider-Man, let's not get too hasty with that. Spider-Man cleared, what, $1 billion already worldwide. So Spider-Man is okay. Spider-Man's made its money. Spider-Man performed better than I thought Spider-Man would perform, which shows that Amy Pascal, once the head of Sony Pictures, knows more about these things than I do. So I would have told you, another Spider-Man, we don't need it. Origin story, I've seen all the origin stories. Going back to the 60s, I don't need it. Wrong. So, when can we talk about NFL Game Pass? Still issue not resolved. We will talk about that, Octavio. We will. Wonder Woman at 700 million. Actually, is that worldwide now? I thought it was closer to 1 billion. I know it's the most popular movie of the summer. But I'm asking because Guardians of the Galaxy cleared 1 billion worldwide. So I'm curious to know where Wonder Woman is. Wonder Woman will clear 1 billion before the... Go see Dunkirk. I will see Dunkirk. I will see Dunkirk. I will see Dunkirk. I definitely will. Now, has anyone... Oh, I got a movie for everybody. See the ice cream truck. I interviewed the maker of ice cream truck here. I love the ice cream truck. It's coming out October, excuse me. It's coming out August 18th. Hey, Maniac, how are you? Now, Steve Macy says, not sure I was. I heard on the news today. I'll check, okay? Did I ever see Chef? No, I have. Oh, man. And you're the person that told me to see it. I still need to see it. I will see it. Hey, Maniac. Maniac, thank you for that, Maniac. I will see Chef. I really will. Other movies that are other shows of interest, you know, Supergirl. I love Supergirl. I miss the cast. I'm sick about it, but CWPR shows me no love whatsoever. So they can't have the Master Blaster in there, master blasting about their shows on the social media. Bad for them, you know. I'd love to want Warner Brothers publicity. But I say that because I actually applied for the job. That's right. I applied to be director of publicity for Warner Brothers. I haven't heard back from them. But, hey, there you go. Huh. Octavia says, Transformers. Yes. Steve Macy says, it just passed 700 million worldwide. Wow, that's still incredible. Wonder Woman surpassed, Steve Macy tells me that Wonder Woman surpassed 700 million worldwide. That's incredible. Absolutely fantastic. And I think she makes Justice League. She just does. And, oh, Citron, you missed my live stream about Winona Earp, huh? My friend Kevin Bouchelder is a Winona Earp a fan. No, actually, Citron, you didn't miss it. You didn't miss my live stream. You were there when I talked to. I apologize. You were there when I talked to Kevin Betch. You were there. That's right. You were. I apologize. You were there. You were there. And you're right about that. And in fact, I find myself now watching sci-fi more often after Comic-Con this time. Sci-fi has, I mean, this network has great science fiction programming. And I'm glad that they helped Zachary Levi get out of a bad jam with respect to his Nerd HQ parties. They took it over, put him on television and all that. Great for sci-fi to do that. Now, Transformers. I've got Transformers fatigue. Clips from Crew. I've got Transformers fatigue. I don't know about you. Bison says, nice interview with Black Panther cast. You had it. Thanks, man. Thank you to Marvel for that one. Citron says, sci-fi, the CW has a ton of good shows. I watch it. Joseph Jones says, while she's beautiful, I would like to have seen a more fuller body Wonder Woman. Yes, a Wonder Woman with true muscles. Someone like Michelle Rodriguez, I thought would have, not to take anything away from Gal Gadot, because she did work out for the role, but I 1000% agree with you, in agreement with you, that the world is comfortable for and ready for women who have muscle. I find women who have muscle attractive. I don't know about you. That's the way I've been since I was, 14, 6 or 7 years old, frankly. Okay, yeah. So, Rick Rice asks, how do you think Black Panther will do considering the main character is black? I think it will do about as well as Captain America did, because as an origin story, and given the demand for it, given there's an underground for this movie that I think is going to boil up like it did for Luke Cage, and I can easily see it doing as well as Wonder Woman at the box office. Okay, I really can. Also, there are a lot of black fanboys, right? Myself, you. We're all gonna come out to see Black Panther, and the dollar power of black girl and black boy black fanboys will be felt worldwide. I'm telling you. And it will surpass 1 billion. Yeah, it will. It will. And not only that, let me say something else too. There are a lot of white fanboys who like Black Panther. Do not mistake that this is like a race-only deal, or color-only deal, because we're all one race, okay? No! Is going to turn them out. Wonder Woman, Octavia says, Wonder Woman reflects a Greek goddess. It has to reflect Greek idea of beauty. That's interesting. Is the Greek idea of beauty no muscle? That's interesting. Now, let's shift to Raiders news for a second, okay? I'm going to interchange, go back from one to the other. For those of you who weren't around, I did talk about the UNLV staff bringing on a lawyer to help them. I'm still trying to get more information on where they are with that. I'm also monitoring the Gary and Conley situation, because they were supposed to have that wrapped up by now, remember? The wheels of justice turn sometimes too slowly. And now also Greek statues. Yeah, Greek statues. Also, on Tuesday, I'm back in Oakland, so I'm contemplating doing my live stream from different areas rather than just my place. So on Tuesday, I'm contemplating doing my live stream at the Alley, which is 3325 Grand Avenue in Oakland, okay? It's a great piano bar. I'm only drinking cranberry juice. I'm not, but I love to give them business, so I'm contemplating doing it from there. I'm thinking about it. The problem is I start this at 9. They have a show at 9, so that may not be a good fit, but someplace. I'll let you know by tomorrow. Tomorrow we're doing the normal live stream with me and Grizz here, we're going to start at 9 o'clock rather than 8:30. And Steve Mace says, do it outside Mark Davis' house. Yeah, if I want to get arrested. No, thanks. Spring training starts next week. Citron, you mean NFL training? because we're out of the spring. We're into the summer. So yeah, we're into the summer. A younger Angelina Jolie is yeah, that's right. I never thought about that. Gal Gadot is much like a younger Angelina Jolie. That is very true. That is quite true. I have not thought about that. Also, Comic-Con was just, I mean, more crowded than ever. Woo. You talk about people. And I did reach out to I got a contact on LinkedIn who's with the Warriors, responsible for PSL sales, who says he's going to give me more information about the membership price, which is going to come out soon. It's more than the 30-year PSL deal. So I don't have that information yet. I gave the gentleman my number. He requested it. I haven't heard back from him yet. So, but I want you to know that's definitely on my radar screen of things to do. So, did I see... Oh, I didn't see Game of Thrones tonight. I saw it a few nights ago. But tonight I didn't see it. I wound up watching the 90s. You know, I was just sitting here, and I spent a lot of time, to be honest with you, Octavio, uploading my videos from Comic-Con, my Marvel videos, all the interviews and everything, the clips. All that for Thor Ragnarok is all at Zenny62 on YouTube and Zenny62.com, as well as Zenny62 on Twitter. So that's what I spent most of the day doing, getting that uploaded and out of the way. So I didn't see that. Now I'm trying to figure out how, for example, somebody has this automatic likes system on YouTube, and the more likes you get, the more views you get, right? But I have to believe somebody's engineering these things, because like a lot of you will watch, but you don't just automatically like. They've got something where someone is automatically liking in the hundreds, and it's bumping up their views. So it's got to be automatic to have it happen that quickly. Just saying, okay? Just saying. There's a lot of stuff going on. Like right now, I'm looking at, I've got now 11 thumbs up. Thank you. You know? But they get like 126 thumbs ups, likes, within, just as they're uploading the video. So but that is not natural. Something is going on there. All right? Something is going on there. So I'm going to investigate that and try to make it to my advantage. I need advantages. I like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is an intricate program. It really is. So, hey, here's my question regarding the Raiders. And my question is, should the Raiders... And this is a poll question. I'm gonna write it. First of all, before I continue, for those of you who can, and even if it is just $2, you know, Super Chat or PayPal, much appreciated. Always appreciated. And I'm getting a link to the PayPal page right now. Though your investment is matched by your, and I'm looking up because I did, okay. Your investment is matched by my shares to you, okay, that you will get. So even if it's $5, hey, that's a cup of coffee. I'll take it. So, now, getting back to the issue regarding the Raiders. Okay, cool, Octavio. You got it, okay. Here's my question. What kind, this is a bit of a complicated question, so bear with me. What kind of offense should the Raiders employ? Should it be a basic? I'm saying 1 is basic drop back. Passing. 2 pro set running game. 3 run and shoot passing. Or 4 read option. Read option. Or 5. 5 would be, 5 would be the standard pro I formation base. 5 standard I formation base. There you go. Okay. There's my question. It's a poll. There it is. My question. What kind of offense should the Raiders employ? 1. Basic drop back passing. 2. Pro set running game. Octavio says run the ball with play action pass. Okay. That's a hybrid of the choice. All right. What others? What do others say? I'm gonna say I'm gonna tweet this out as a poll. Say Raiders poll. Raiders poll at Zenny62 Livestream. Now. Got it. Donna says 55 gut. 55 gut. Donna says 55 gut. Ruben Ortiz says 3. Run and shoot passing. I like run and shoot. I like run and shoot. Donna says just run the ball. Does that mean you think that Marshawn Lynch should be the focus and not this fantastic group of wide receivers that the Raiders have that's paced by Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree? I'm leaving out Calvin Johnson because we don't have any concrete information about Mr. Johnson yet. Just asking. Run the ball. He says, run the ball. Bowser, hey, how you doing, man? Lynch won't do great. Bouse says, but wait a minute, that's a different question. Are you saying we don't give him the ball? Okay, but wait a minute. Are you what? Here's my poll. Let me get back the poll since you've arrived. This is my question. All right. There's the poll. Okay. There's the poll. Bouse says he can't do it. Okay. Read option. Steve Collins wants read option. Octavio says we have no money for Calvin Johnson. I don't think we need Calvin Johnson. I'm not against Calvin Johnson personally. I just, from a business standpoint, hold that Calvin Johnson's head is not ready to play the game at the level that we expect. That's my concern. Okay? That's my concern. Steve Collins says we do not need Johnson. I am in agreement. We do not need Calvin Johnson. We don't. We don't. So, we don't. Octavio also says Cooper and Crabtree are average. Donut says, why pass the ball? Well, the NFL rules make it easy to pass the ball. We have the personnel to pass the ball effectively, and we have done so. Those are 2 reasons I can think of off the top of my head. Rick Rice, Bouse says it will have to be 3 wide receivers all game long on offense. Yeah, I agree. Rick Rice says we need a little bit of everything to mix it up. Everything except the read option. I'm a fan of the read option without giving it to the quarterback. Now you would say, huh? Yeah. What I mean by that is every action that favors a look that makes the defense think the quarterback is going to run it, but the quarterback doesn't, I'm in favor of. Because I don't want to get my quarterback killed. Now, Tanner says we need a starting middle linebacker. I know that, but I'm talking about the offense right now, Tan. Octavio says, but they do the job. Bowser Raider says, how can you not see this? Raiders O-line can't run block. Well, you design a good running strategy to effectively pick up runs. I am not in the belief that an O-line can't block. I firmly hold that anytime an offensive line has blocking problems, you look to scheme with respect to personnel. That's why I say that, all right? Coop and Crabtree above average, but not great. I'm talking about scheme. I'm a big believer in, for example, using negative influence blocking. Just as a show of hands, by yes or no. How many people know what negative influence blocking is? Just ask. Yes, my God, scheme. Hey, man, God has everything to do with scheme. Everything. 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 Doggone it, you're going to make me grab this coffee here and drink it. No. Bao says scheme can only do so much without talent. Wait. I'm being specific. I asked a question. Do you know what negative influence blocking is? Don't just say things. Do you know what negative influence blocking is? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you know what negative influence blocking? No. Hey, look. You don't even invest in my company anyway. The heck with you. Do you know what negative influence blocking is? Huh? Negative influence. No, I am not stopping. Do you know what negative influence blocking is? I can prove it. You give me a group of people to coach. Give me the Raiders' weakest ones to coach, and I'll prove it. I will prove it. I will prove it. I will prove it. Okay, well, he's gone. All right, anyway, I'm continuing. Now, my point is this. Steve Collins says read option. Okay, I read option. I love NFL Network. I love the All-22 to study run blocking and studying pass blocking too, right? Oh, and well, yeah, ask your father then. Your father will side with me. He will tell you blocking scheme matters. He will tell you there's and technique. For example, there's a big difference. Do you know the difference between the Raiders style of blocking in the 70s and the Steelers style? I can tell you. I can tell you. And, oh, it does. Oh, yes, it does win titles. For those of you not watching, who can't see the things, Baus, your ruler, is saying that, he's saying that, I hesitate to say this because it's so unbelievably ridiculous. And it is unbelievably ridiculous. He's saying that basically scheme doesn't matter in run blocking. And anybody out there who knows anything about football strategy understands the difference between, for example, negative influence blocking, counter gap blocking, fold blocking, blocking where you challenge the person at the line of scrimmage, you hit them right in the chest here, versus retreat blocking, vertical set blocking, for example, which is employed by a lot of air raid system offenses. There are a number of different techniques and styles of blocking, but this man, Baus, your ruler, claims none of that matters, and I'm saying, oh, come on. That is a completely ridiculous statement from a person who should know better. And so that's why I say, if your dad's an offensive line coach, please, I beg of you, ask him, bring him on the show. He will side with me. He will say I am correct, okay? Scheme matters. Yeah, scheme matters. I want to meet your dad. Bring your dad on. Bring your dad on. Area says Octavio, Atlanta lost because they lost their balls. Technically. Oh, yes, your dad will side with me. Absolutely. Your dad will side with me. Because I only speak technical. It's not a matter of saying, you know, this is or this is, you know. I will show you a number of cases where blocking has made the difference between winning and losing, between a bad NFL team, the same team the year before, and then that year. Absolutely. Faust says he would laugh at you, man. No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. Because we would be, your dad and I, if he's a coach and you as you present, he would love it for me to draw plays and talk about technique, you know, and talk about, you know, why vertical set blocking is decent, why the Patriots man-on-man blocking is really effective in terms of steering a defensive line toward one way while the quarterback is over here. Look at the Pats films. You'll understand what I'm talking about. Film study matters, young man. I'm telling you that. Guard block and full block. That's right. But not only that, whether or not you want to use, for example, I'm not a fan of vertical set blocking. Why? Because it makes a person retreat. And if you know how to hit a person in the chest and hit them high, like, you know, from the ground up, like that, you can literally lift them off the ground. And you don't have to be strong to do it. To keep that in mind, you don't have to be strong to do it. You can lift them off the ground. Okay? So, So anyway, ask your dad. Bring your dad in. No, Faust, don't insult my people, all right? No, do not insult my people, okay? Insult my people, I have to put you on a timeout, okay? Don't do that. Because some of these guys are my investors, and they put money into it, and I won't allow that. So if you're an investor, different story. But you haven't invested in my company. These people have put money in my company, you know, to help me. So don't do that, okay? Okay, don't insult him. No insulting. No insulting. People, no insulting, all right? One missed block can break. Okay, no name calling. And Rick Rice, that's you. I'm putting you on notice. No insulting, boss, at all. I don't want to do that, okay? Otherwise, I'll just time out both of you and I'll keep talking myself. I don't want to deal with that. Grow up. If you can't talk technical football, go someplace else. I want technical football. It's not a matter of yeah. Technical football. Okay? So, anyway, one missed block can broke block. No, here's what I'm talking about. Is a good example of the difference between blocking styles or blocking, or the importance of blocking, is when Don Shula was coaching the Miami Dolphins and they encountered a defense that was basically, yeah, but boss, you kind of take on other people, and you know I like a technical talk, so you know, don't do that. I mean, you're supposed to be my friend, so just don't do that. That's why I said that. Okay? I mean, you know that's wrong. That's not so, if I come, I don't want that. So my point, what it is, folks, is I insist on a technical talk, pure out technical. So my point is that, and I'm going to adhere to that. So my point is this. My point is this, that when Don Shula was on the Miami Dolphins, Shula used something called negative influence blocking. What is that? It's where you have an end run, let's say around the tackle. Normally the tackle would block the defensive end, assuming, let's say it's a 4-3 or a 3-4, right, a base. And that end provides resistance around in, okay? And so, but with negative influence, what happens is the offensive tackle is instructed to let the defensive end go where they want to go. So the defensive end happens to be going way outside to stop the end run. Then we let them go that way. A hole opens up between the end and the tackle if it's a 4-3, right? And assuming the 4-3's block on the guard is sustained, and the running back simply alters his course and goes up that hole, running to daylight. So you mix negative influence blocking with running to daylight to achieve positive yardage results. That's why I say that even today, football strategy makes the act of run blocking more complicated than it would seem to be. This isn't, something that you can just pass off to personnel. It's always coaching. Coaching always matters. It really does. It really does. Hey, Barry, you just arrived. How are you? How are you doing? So, you just arrived. You just arrived. Okay, Barry Strong. All right. And I'm not attacking. All right, Barry Strong. All right. And Barry says, you're lucky to have that cool t-shirt. Oh, you know who gave me this t-shirt? Star Trek. This one? Tori Mill of Roddenberry Entertainment. I see him every Comic-Con, including this year. And which he gave me the Star Trek The Next Generation. Hold on a second. I'm proud of this. I got my swag, okay? Star Trek The Next Generation 30th anniversary right there. See that? There you go. Yeah, that's my Batman thing. Now, Bouse says, Raiders O-line built to pass. They still are there. Few wide receivers says they don't lead back enough to use best talent. Let's see where the Raiders ranked in terms of running. I just want to see something here. So, all right, folks. Don't forget to invest. Please. Now, welcome to those who are just joining us. We're in a spirited debate regarding the importance of run blocking, scheme versus talent. That's the debate. So, but what I'm looking up right now is, hold on a second. There. Sorry about the buffering. Oh, notice how you PayPal. That link, Donis, that's where you can invest right there. PayPal. I will shoot you back shares that are commensurate with your level of investment. $2, $20, whatever you can afford. Okay? So, no, not the eye test. That's, no eye test. You know why? Because a lot of people don't know what to look at. Sorry. That's just truth. A lot of people don't know how to look at when an offensive line is making a blocking mistake, let alone defensive front and their schemes and stunts and formations. So, no. Eye test, forget it. Forget the eye test. No. Octavia says, forget about the offense. We need defense. Now, let me see something here. No front seven. Hold on a second. We've got... Okay, here. Oakland Raiders. Oakland Raiders. Offense. Rush. Excuse me. 2016. Raiders stats. NFL.com. All right. Third in the AFC West. Their ranking was, they were 6th in terms of rushing yards. You hear that, Bouse? The Raiders ranked 6th in terms of rushing. 6th, okay? They were 13th in terms of passing yards. They were 6th in terms of total offense last year, okay? So, they weren't that bad in terms of line, it says here. That's interesting. My live stream is not offline. It is online. Okay. That is strange. Okay. Yes. No, online. Online. I did. I rebooted. Yeah, what happened, folks, is for a second this went offline. I don't know why, but it went offline and then now we're online. So I just rebooted mine. That was really weird. But now I don't see anything. Let's see here what's going on. I see that we're going along on my phone. My phone is recording this, but my page is not. So something is definitely going on here. Let me see. Yes. Here now. I'm writing here now. Here now, folks. I'm going to check the stream. I'm going to check the control room and see what's going on. It says the stream is good. The health of the stream is good. So I don't know why that happened. I do not know why that happened, but it happened. Why that happened, I don't know, but it happened. Yes, we're back. Yes. Yes. Be back. Mark Bedane. Yeah, it's Bedane's fault, dang it. Bedane and Adelson, they're mad. They're mad at me. Yeah. No, you know what it was, boss? It was one of those guys that you got after that you got in that little argument with. One of those guys actually Mark Bedane. That's what I think it was. Oh boy, oh boy. So, okay. Now, Octavio says we had a bend but don't break defense. We need a full pressure defense on the front four and get Khalil back to outside linebacker. I like Khalil Mack where he is. I don't think the problem so much is related to him. Again, I go back to alignment. The Raiders need to play a 4-3 pinch alignment with the tackles nose up on the center, much akin to some of the old 1970s Bud Carson Steelers defenses, but really right on the center, just really collapsing the line of scrimmage there, okay? I love that idea, as you can tell by my eyes. I'm like, yeah, salivating at the idea of ruining the center from both sides. Yes. Absolutely. Excuse me. So, let's see. Name me the 3-tech DT for the Raiders. You mean the best one in history? That was Warren Sapp was the best one. I mean, are you asking me, do I think Mario Elwood should be shifted to 3 technique? Why not? Is that the question you're asking me? Okay. Is that what you're asking me? Are you also asking me, do I like 3 technique? No. I think it stinks. I favor a true pinch technique, not a 3 technique. Okay? Okay? So there you are. All right? All right, there you are. I don't like the Raiders' current scheme at all. I don't like the Raiders' current scheme at all. At all. I'm sorry the Raiders didn't try to get Dontari Poe. That would have forced them to play a different scheme than they're considering playing this year. Okay, Dontari Poe instead went to the Falcons, offered a better deal. Dontari Poe, Grady Jarrett. Ooh, my God. Okay, yeah, that's right. Interior pressure. You're absolutely right. Interior pressure. But look at what happened look at how the Patriots got past that pressure. Okay, now we're shifting to defense rather than run in terms of their blocking. But look at the Falcons and the way they changed. I interviewed Dan Quinn about this several times. Dan Quinn is the coach of the Atlanta Falcons, and how he was changing his technique to emphasize speed. That includes no two-gapping, okay? That includes rushing through the gap to get to the quarterback and or running back, okay? That's the Falcons. That includes speed. The Raiders would do very well to copy Dan Quinn's defense coaching techniques, okay? That's my point. Now, all right? I'm not a fan of Vince Wilfork just because he's a two-gapper, okay? And that's what he's used to playing. I'm a fan of Vince Wilfork if he's quick enough to be a one-gapper. A guy of his size that's a one-gapper draws a double team. But if I turn a guy that size loose, all right, and he can run, I want that. I want a guy his size who can run. I don't know how fast he is. That's my issue. I don't know how fast he is. Okay. McCoy, Gerald McCoy with the Bucks, that's a fast dude. All right, that's a fast dude. Then we're talking about people like Nadakam Sue. That's the guy you want. All right, people that are both big and fast. So, and Bow says, how long another Davis left? Steve Collins says, Raiders are all set. It's time to coach them right in the right schemes and then get them to game shape mentally and physically. I'm a big proponent of what Steve Collins just said. It's coaching. That's the problem with the Raiders. It is coaching. We were talking as if they started the season already and they're tanking. But I'm saying to you that they've got to shore up that defense and stop two-gapping, okay? I like the personnel. We go through this every year with the Raiders. They need to do this. They need to do that. The Raiders need a new scheme. It's not the personnel. It's the scheme. It's the way they're coached. That's my issue. And that's Jack. That's Mr. Del Rio putting that USC juju stuff on there, okay? So, at any rate, Bout says Raiders defensive tackle stink, no middle linebacker. As you guys are going to see week 1 in Tennessee what I'm saying. So you're predicting a Tennessee win over the Raiders, Bouse? Is that what you're saying? You're saying the Tennessee Titans are going to beat the Oakland Raiders. Is that what you're saying? Hello? Hello? Joseph True says, I need a running back that runs straight up the hole. Yep. Hey, Donis, did you see the investment for PayPal? Invest. Like I said, folks, a cup of coffee is just $3. Okay? Bouse says streams are messing up. Oh, I said that, are you predicting that, to Bouse, I said, are you predicting that the Titans are going to beat the Raiders week 1? All right? Steve Collins says Reggie has given the talent. Now it's time to coach the talent in the winners. Yes. Yeah, there's something with the stream where it's buffering. I don't know what's going on with that. Let me try something here. Let me close some windows. See if that does anything. I know the stream is weird here, but on my iPhone it's just fine. So we've got Steve Collins says, oh, hey, if your stream is messing up, refresh your computer and shut down your other pages. Make sure you only have one page open, my page. That's it. Now, Steve Collins says, Reggie McKenzie has given them the talent. I repeated that one. Joseph True says, I think the Vegas thing is going to be a distraction. Raiders not making the playoffs. Corvette says, welcome, Corvette. Corvette says, defense wins championships. Raiders D might not be much better this year than last year. Bouse says, Joseph True, yep, and expectations super high. Down year. Yeah, that's my issue, is that expectations for the Raiders are so high, it's going to give them a big head. And I don't see the coaches mitigating that. Everybody is talking about the Raiders. The Raiders going to the Super Bowl. The Raiders beating this team. The Raiders beating that team. The Raiders. Carr having the highest contract. All this stuff. Too much. So, how many drops this year for Seth? I'll say 5. So there you go, 5. Folks, it's 10:49. Means it's nearing 11 o'clock, which translates to 2 o'clock in the East. So I'm gonna stop in about 9 minutes. I think that's about right. 9 minutes, okay? And Joseph True says that Derek Carr Carr overpaid, too much hype. Yeah. And Bouse says drop Hurts only 5 Pro Bowl in. Yep, well there you go, 5. But see, the flip side of it is how many times has he thrown? Take a look at the cast of characters around now. My prediction is he gets less opportunities. then we have the drops, okay? So Jordan Yancey. Jordan, how are you? Jordan says, it sounds like there's a bunch of Raider haters on tonight. No, I'm not a Raider hater on. I'm not. I like Raiders a lot. Hey, Mr. Yancey, got any Vegas news for me, by the way? I remember our conversation. I remember what you said. I'm going to stop in 10 minutes. What you got, Mr. Yancey? Any new Sheldon Adelson-related news to share that you may have picked up in a bar in Las Vegas? And I don't say that pejoratively. By the way, watch Star Trek Discovery on August 18th. Watch the movie, the horror movie, The Ice Cream Man. How'd you like the way I said that? The Ice Cream Man. I'll say it one more time. The Ice Cream Man. Okay. Let's see here. Joseph True says, Zinni, you're going to be giving me a seizure. Live stream on life support. My ad is enough. Okay. Steve Collins says, haters are upset like the rest of us because of the proposed move. Yep. And Boss Raider says, Nancy. Boss Raider says, Steve upset because defense wasn't improved. Yes. Yes. Joseph True says, ADD. ADD. Your stream is on live support? Just if you're having problems, just refresh it. Just give it a refresh. So, ADD, says Joseph True. Aha. Like I said, before I go out, invest. A little coffee money would be fantastic. Like $3, $2, $4, whatever. $5. Let's see here. We've got, and by the way, that does equate to shares. So I'm going to establish a brand new business fund page to expand the investor group. I'm going to do that this week. So stay tuned for that. Steve Collins says, D will surprise you, boss. I hope so. I hope so. Now, boss says D won't surprise anyone. I'm curious to know what they're going to emphasize in terms of blitzes this year. Corvette says, yeah, big heads when the last time the Raiders had defense. Is that a question? Yep, big heads when the last time Raiders had a great defense. Is that a question, Corvette? You kind of lost me there. Steve Collins says, all about the scheme, boss. We have little talent. We have the talent. We do have the talent. It is about scheme. Bouse says, Collins. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Okay. Karen Wingo. Any relation to Trey Wingo? How are you, Karen Wingo? Who is new. Is Karen Wingo actually... Whatever. Bouse Urula says, nutmeg is wearing off, brother. Okay. All right, you two. Enough of that. So, okay, great. Get back to football. Forget the insults, folks. Enough. You're going to force me to get massively creative with, you just gave me an idea. Things. Okay. Football. Ruben says, make some popcorn and watch Chef tonight. I will do that. I actually have dinner back here, and I can't wait to get cracking and have it, because I haven't eaten all day long. I kind of sweared off the popcorn. Steve Collins says, thank you, Zenny. Boss says, Raiders don't have the talent on front seven, Steve. Hey, boss, I want to meet your dad. Introduce me to your dad so we could talk scheme, football, blocking scheme, strategy, formations, defensive fronts. Yes. Octavia says Mario Edwards better step up. Mario Edwards. It'd be fun to get a weighted player on here as a guest. What do I have to do to make that happen? I gotta shake things up. A hit. Any ideas? Who should I try to get as a guest? I know other than Derek Carr. That would be a hard get. Marshawn Lynch, maybe it'd be even harder. Or maybe not. Who would you all like? Mario is okay. That is. Who would you all like for me to have on as my first guest among Raider players? Is that possible? Do they let them come on? I wonder. Octavia says, better stream, laugh out loud. Corvette says, we'll find out soon enough where the Raiders D is. Season starts soon. How many people are going to training camp this coming weekend? I'm going to try to go. Anybody? Anyone? Corvette. Bouse asks Corvette the name is starting front. Hey folks, it's 10:56. I'm about to bow out and eat. For those of you coming on to expect the Comic-Con talk, we had the Comic-Con talk. And I'm going to do more of that as the week progresses. I'm going to work to get more guests on too. Do something a little different. Corvette says, Raiders will be fine. The only thing I see hurting us is the talk of Vegas move and fan support. We lose a couple of 3 games in a row. Hey, by the way, if you haven't already, please invest. Octavia says, need my Game Pass working. The NFL is making their service worse every year. And we'll do a special live stream on NFL Gamecast. Or maybe I can get somebody. I'll reach out to the league and see if I can get some information on that. Okay. So, Bouse, for the cost of a beer, invest. Or whatever. I'll have more new announcements this week. All right, 10:57. Bouse says, Raiders weren't a great team last year, escaped a lot. No, they aren't fine. Octavia Arias says, Bouse says, Raiders will be at 500 halfway point, mark it down. It's not a bad place to be, 500, because they were at that point last year, and then they were doing better. That's not a bad place to be. I remind you that the 1985 Niners were at, was 85, the 88 49ers were at 500, actually, and they were below 500, and they wound up going to win the Super Bowl. So, hey, there you go. Hey, Mr. Stewie Griffin, you're late. How are you? It's 10:58. I'm getting ready to go up. What's up? Mr. Griffin, we'll be on tomorrow night. Invest in Zenny62. You will get stock tonight. Bouse says 10-6 are best. I say Bouse says 8-8. Defense is an issue. If the Raiders go 8-8, Jack Del Rio will get fired. That's he would be on the hot seat by the middle of the year. If he went 8-8, that would be grounds for termination. Yeah, that would be grounds for termination. So, Rick Rice says 15-1, we lose to the Jets. Bouse says 12-4 and very lucky for the Raiders. And Steve Griffin says 3-13. I say 11-5. 11-5. Bauster says Jets won't beat Raiders, laugh out loud. But I'm going to make my final determination on all this after I see what they do for preseason, because you can tell a lot about how well a team will do regardless of their one-loss record preseason by how they play. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. The 2000 Ravens in preseason had the fastest defense off the ball I've ever seen in my entire life. They came off the ball against the Jets that year so fast in preseason, it scared me. I'd never seen that before. That defense went on to propel the Ravens' Super Bowl march. Keep that in mind. So watch what the first team does. Watch the first half, how they play, how fast they get off the ball, how hungry they are. If they get off the ball like that, yeah, you got a team. If they don't, we got problems. And that's where scheme is going to have to come in. Scheme and coaching. The Falcons have a coordinator That's their advantage. All right, folks, it's 2 o'clock. I'll see you tomorrow night. Remember, 9 o'clock with Godfather Grizz. And please invest. There are major perks. For people who invest in Zinni 62, there are major perks. Among them, extra coverage, special emails that I send to you about upcoming shows and events, and more. Not only that, you get investment in Zinni 62, actual true. It's not fake, actual true. If Zinni 62 Media is acquired, you get your shares compensated if if that's what you want to do, and you invest. So I'm saying, regardless of your level, micro investment of $2, $20, $200, $2,000, Zinni 62 Media, invest in this just a Georgia-based corporation. Invest. Thank you. All right. Good night, everybody. I'm going to bed. Thank you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. See you tomorrow. And thanks for the input and the interaction.